an icon.
I mean, just everybody sort of
Universally
collectively said, "Oh no, not Robert Redford." There's been no cause of death. I was wondering, do we know what happened? Apparently, his publicist is saying he died in his sleep. Allison.
Well, I mean, he lived a good long life. He
Mm-hmm.
certainly accomplished a lot on and off screen. I think that he was slowing down in recent years. I do remember that him not being as public, not, appearing at any sort of awards shows and stuff like that. He, of course, we think of him as an actor, super handsome actor, of course, but he was also a director. He was also an environmentalist, an activist. He was 89 years old when he died yesterday. So he starred, as you'll remember, in some of the iconic movies like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I mean, I think he's when we think of him, I get that picture of him in my head. And then The Way We Were, with Barbra Streisand. But listen to this. He won his first Academy Award, not for acting, but for directing. And that was the movie Ordinary People in 1980. He also founded the Sundance Institute, which is just a great place, really tranquil. They do lots of interesting lecture series on books and the environment. They have a film festival. They promote independent films and fresh ideas in the film business. So joining us now to discuss all of this is Ralphie Aversa. He's the host and producer of Entertain This, USA Today's entertainment flagship video franchise. So Ralphie, great to have you here. What do you think that Robert Redford is most remembered for?
Oh, wow. Well, I think first you have to go to the films, right? Whether it's The Natural, whether it's All the President's Men, whether it's some of the films, Ordinary People, as of course you just mentioned as well, which netted him his first Academy Award for directing. I believe that also took home Best Picture as well. So first you talk about the films, but then, I mean, when you really dig into his life, it really is an incredible life lived here in America. And, I do gravitate back to the fact that, when he was younger, he, for $500, bought this plot of land, 2 acres in Utah. And that's what really led him to his love of nature, the way in which he advocated for the environment. And then, of course, again, as you mentioned, the Sundance Institute, the Sundance Film Festival. And as we've seen in some of the celebrity tributes that have come in since his passing yesterday, that's going to be a huge part of his legacy.
I'm so glad you said The Natural, because that was the movie that I first thought of. I mean, to me, that's an iconic movie. And I think of my generation, that's probably the one film that originally comes to mind. If not, Indecent Proposal. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Demi Moore.
Forgot about that one.
I mean, that posed an iconic question that should forever be posed. But I do want to ask you a little bit more about the Sundance Film Festival and how central that is to his legacy. And I think now that it's moving as well.
Yeah, Ron Howard, of course, the Academy Award-winning filmmaker, said that, the Sundance Film Festival and, of course, Robert and his founding of it really helped to supercharge independent filmmaking here in the States and beyond. Marlee Matlin, of course, the Academy Award-winning actress who, of course, won for Coda. She credited Sundance with really getting Coda out there. And she said that without Sundance, Coda probably doesn't have the award season that it did, like 3-4 years ago, where, of course, that picture also went on to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. I think absolutely Sundance. And then again, too, his championing of the environment. Leonardo DiCaprio in his tribute certainly mentioned that. So did Jane Fonda. So many different people coming out and saying, Bob Woodward, the journalist, of course, who he portrayed in All the President's Men, talking about how Robert always wanted to use his platform for the betterment of others. And, what a beautiful legacy that is to leave behind.
Also a passionate advocate for Native Americans, as I understand it as well, right?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, he really, he had a number of different platforms. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind, to help out others, or to speak his mind if he, felt that there was an injustice. We saw President Trump yesterday before his state trip to the UK kind of pay tribute to Robert and talk about his legacy. But, Robert, I believe it was 2018, penned an op-ed where he was critical of what is now the current administration, or at least what was then the current administration under President Trump. So, yeah, again, an actor and an activist through and through.
Ralphie, is it true he never won any Oscar for his acting?
Yeah, I believe his only Oscar is for directing. So yeah, which is incredible to believe when you just think about all the movies that we've mentioned, just in the short time, and we're only scratching the surface of the various films that he was in, the iconic films, and of course, so many iconic co-stars as well. But yeah, I believe his only Academy Award is for directing.
What was your favorite Redford film?
So I mentioned The Natural, and part of the reason why I mentioned The Natural is because you see behind me, I have the Buffalo Bills logo there, the vintage WGR 55 bumper sticker. I'm originally from Western New York. 2/3 of that film was filmed at the old War Memorial Stadium where the Bills used to play in Buffalo. And so, that film and the iconic scene of Roy Hobbs, hitting the home run, the lights going out, the Randy Newman theme. I mean, that, to me, that certainly resonates.
Classic.
We got to go around the horn. Allison, favorite Robert Redford film?
I don't know. I mean, I tend to associate him with Paul Newman. Were they in The Sting together? Is that what I'm thinking?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one that just the image of it pops up right in my head. I don't know. I guess The Way We Were.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I've never seen it.
What?
I got to admit, I've never seen it.
Whoa.
That's a generational thing, with all due respect, big guy. I'm sure a lot of people my age have never seen that film.
But at least you know who he is.
Oh, I absolutely know of it.
Yeah. All right. Ralphie Aversa, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And, he mentioned Jane Fonda. His co-stars are, very emotional. She said she couldn't stop crying when she heard of this loss. She said it hit her hard yesterday morning when she read that he was gone.
Icon.
She said he was a beautiful person in every way, stood for an America we have to keep fighting for. Jane Fonda there.
That's lovely.
They were in Barefoot in the Park.
Talk.
That's before my time. So